just in case the dogs are the willy or anything.
Hey everybody. This is Renee with Team Infinite Beauty Global. We're going to start a team training, and if you're on here, you can mute yourself. If you have background noise, that's fine. I'm live here with Ray. Michelle Ellis is on this team Zoom. I learned a long time ago that those who show up go up in business, and even though life is super busy and chaotic behind the scenes, it's really important to put your business first in the front of some things. Otherwise, your business becomes a hobby, and a hobby doesn't really produce much, and then you'll get discouraged and it's a downward spiral. And so what I'm going to teach you is to upward spiral, which is first number one is to show up. I'm going to go ahead and start this, and we're going to actually be doing a 30-minute on tonight. So I'm going to start the time on here. When this time is up, the training will be over, because guess what, you guys, we are busy living life behind the scenes, and my little bit of show up to go up isn't here to make you feel bad. If you have life going on and you cannot show up on the live Zooms, that's the beauty of the replay. That's the beauty of why I created the YouTube channel, Team Infinite Beauty YouTube channel, so that you guys could come back and rewatch this, maybe while you're folding laundry or washing dishes, or maybe on your morning commute or on the way home after work. You could just listen in for some golden nuggets. And what are golden nuggets? Golden nuggets are when someone in leadership or someone on your sideline is talking and sharing. There might be little pieces of information along the sharing that you might go, aha, that's something that I was missing, and you could take off running with it for that week to be successful. I want to share, today's April 1st, and this is not an April Fool's joke that we're here and we're actually kicking off team meetings. We're actually doing it. Maybe that's why people aren't here, that I thought it was an April Fool's joke. They're like, we've been waiting long enough, Renee. Ha ha, right? So, but we're doing it today because April showers bring May flowers. And if you think about a business in direct sales, you have to share your business with a lot of people, which is like the showers, like you're sharing it out there, right? And then what's going to happen is you're going to have the growth in your business for May, which is the flowers that are going to grow. Every direct sales business I've built from the beginning has taken me a 90-day run to rebuild or build organically. And when I say organic, I'm a leader, I'm a top leader in the industry. I've been in the industry for 22 years, but every single time I start a business, I start from scratch. I start organically. And even though people here like Michelle Ellis, who's known me for, gosh, I think what, almost, how long has it been? Has it been almost like 10 years that we've known each other, since our first run together with a legging company, right? Sometimes people connect and like the business that I'm doing and my leadership, and then it just fits. Sometimes they're like, that's a crazy business. I'm never doing that with you, and good luck to you. Peace be with you, right? But it's an organic build. I don't have people following me over and over and over to have these huge results. But I'm a results driven leader. What does that mean? We're at xoxo Gina, and we are building an organically grown leadership team. So there are legacy icons within this team that are in leadership roles, and one of my skill sets, my skills, talents, and just my gifts that I have, you guys, is that I like to help build leaders from where you are with what you have. And what that looks like sometimes is a harder climb than if you are, if you're an established leader and you already know everything, right? Like you're a know-it-all and you hit the ground running, there's like a clearer path with that, right? Like you already have all the tools and assets in your toolbox. And what I love to do is help people grow from not having anything in the toolbox other than the willingness to dive in. And I wanted to go over some resources today that are really going to get you excited, because we have been waiting for resources here at xoxo Gina, because it's a brand new beauty brand. And get excited about that, because brand new means it's not saturated. Brand new means when you go approach a vendor show coordinator, they may never have heard of the company before. And so you might be the first person to get your foot into the vendor show, which is amazing because then that unlocks the ability to secure that. Ray and I actually had a really wonderful opportunity to secure a March vendor show for the 21st and 22nd of March. We just got done with that vendor show. And what I did is I took all of the data that I collected from that vendor show, pictures, workflows. You know, the first day was a very different field, and then the second day to try to get different results. And some could say, well, it's like you're throwing spaghetti noodles at the wall to see what sticks. No, there's a consumer, a type of consumer. There's because we are a high-end luxury brand and our price matches that, there's a specific type of person and a specific type of approach that you have to have when selling these higher end products. So we booked the vendor show, and Ray, I know you're on here kind of with your screen off right now, but I wanted to just kind of reach out to you on the Zoom and ask you to share with everyone on the team, what was it like, your experience of actually holding a vendor show for the first time? Because this was your first rodeo. You had not held a vendor show for any company prior to this. Can you share with everybody what you liked the most about it? Are you able to unmute and do that?
Yep,
And
I can do it.
Okay.
Hi.
You are. So
Yeah, so I really enjoyed the vendor show. It was a learning experience. It was fun meeting a bunch of different people. I was really nervous at first because, like I said, and like Renae said, it was my first time. I've done vendor shows for like my work, but never for myself. Um, and I didn't know what to say or how to do things, but it all kind of just flowed. I was just going with the flow. I was listening to Renae a few times and I was like, okay. And I kind of like wrote down little key points and I was like, okay, I'm going to use those.
right.
um, but
Mhm.
yeah, it was very nice. It was fun. And I actually have a vendor show in November that I'm going to do. So on
And
my own.
so right, and I'm excited because that it worked out perfect. So for those of you who
Thank you.
don't know, and if you're in the team chat, you might already know, but just to catch everybody up. So what had happened is I was unable to secure the vendor show. And Ray and I had met at a restaurant to talk about business, and I was teaching you how to book the vendor show, right? And so I was like passing that baton over. And it's funny because I didn't realize how hard of a baton pass. I'm like, "Ooh, here you go," right? But she dove into it. She booked the vendor show. We secured the spot. We worked it together. And then from that vendor show, I booked two more vendor shows. You booked the one, and then we're kind of tag teaming the fall vendor shows because what your availability is versus mine is different. And that's the beauty of being first. And I want to tell everybody this. When you hear, oh, you want to be first in the direct sales because it's like going to rain some money, that's not what it is. Okay. There's no guarantees in direct sales. It's based on your skills, your abilities, your talents, and willingness to put yourself out there. This is what I learned probably in 2014. I learned that when I was with a newer company and I approached the vendor show coordinator, and I told them what I was selling, they didn't say, I have it on the list already. You have to wait for the other person to leave or something to happen that they can't be there for you to get the spot. And so that wait list could be really long in a saturated market, right? Like, think about it. Now, yes, we want this to grow. And yes, Ray and I want to be the queens of xoxo Gina of Kalispell, Montana with our team. But the beautiful part of it is as it grows and we're the first leaders here, we are going to be involved in that process. And Ray's going to be recruiting team members locally to build more leaders locally. And then we'll eventually have a whole team of leaders here. And if you think about how many people are in Kalispell, gosh, I don't even know what the population is here. Ray, do you know what the population is in Kalispell? Is it like 200,000 or something crazy? Like, I don't even know.
Oh
What
man,
is it?
I have no clue.
Anyways,
I don't know.
maybe that'll be a homework assignment. When you rewatch this, that'll be a hashtag replay moment. Go and look at your, like, bring up Google or even go to Chat GPT if you want to use that and just type in what is the population of and put your hometown where you live and then see how many people there are. And there's no way possible that I myself am going to provide customer service and xoxo Gina products to every single people in my town. That's just not going to happen. But when I build a team of people and they build a team of people and they build a team of people and it just grows and grows, and you're not confined to your own town. Some of you actually held online vendor shows as well, and those vendor shows are run just a little bit different, but you still have to be the first xoxo Gina artist in those vendor shows to secure the spot. So I'm super excited about that. Let me show you my screen just to give you guys a little bit behind the scenes here. As I was doing all of the beta testing, if you will, of the vendor show from my viewpoint, so I could do training tools for the team, this is what let me go ahead and just 1 second here. Of course, it's not on the right screen I want it to be on. Hold on. Vendor show systems. And there we go. Share my screen. Let me show you the type of resources we're creating here together. And I'm putting it together. So can you see my screen, Ray? So
Yeah.
okay, good. So it's the Elite Vendor Event Success System step-by-step guide insert. This is just the insert that goes inside. It's talking about a field-facing quick start workflow built from live testing, measured results, and real booth execution. So it's talking about the spring Kalispell Vendor Show. We got 73 leads that were collected, 32 newsletter opt-ins, 5 sales, and actually we got 7 sales. I have to correct that because there was 5 on the Square Reader and there was 2 additional that were cash pay. So I have to upgrade that number because I realized when I went to go count the cash box, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to put these 2 sales in my little program here. But you see 306 total sales for the 2 days, which is not bad for a brand new unheard of company. Now, think about it. When Ray and I were talking about people who came up to the booth, we asked them, have you heard of xoxo Gina before? And they said, no, of course they haven't. We knew that they hadn't. And we'd actually sometimes chuckle like, of course you didn't, because it's brand new. And let us tell you, our 30-second commercial would go into talking about everything. But because it's so new, there's not the trust in the company and the brand recognition. So we are literally creating that trust and the brand recognition one person at a time. And so for $306 in sales for the weekend for a brand that they did not know about, I think that's pretty amazing. Now, the first day we had $70 in sales versus the second day we had $236 in sales. Now, what shifted? The first day when we set everything up, Ray and myself and my daughter Melody were there. And we were like so excited, taking everything out of the boxes and like setting it up. And we're putting the confetti lips on the table, and Melody's turning them all over so that they're all forward, sitting upright and stuff, and just making it look fun, like a party. Well, it was too cluttered. When I came home after that night or after that day and I was in my bed thinking about everything, I was like, you know what? That was very cluttered. And as a customer, and especially being more of a high-end product, you want to have a clean and crisp presentation. And of course, I was like, oh man, it's going to be a lot of work to go in the next day. And, we're showing up right before the show is starting. So I had to kind of like clean and tidy it up as things were, starting for the day. And I had to tell Ray and Melody, I was like, okay, be quiet for a minute. I'm going to be stuck in my head as I figure this out here. And I did. And you can see that the $70 the first day on Saturday versus the $236 the second day, I think a lot attributed to the cleanliness and the system on the booth itself. And then also Ray got a little more confident with what she was saying. And even my daughter Melody, who's never sold anything in her life, she got more confident as well. So I think just having more experience helped with that. Ray, do you think that experience helped, or which do you think the decluttering the booth helped? What do you think happened there?
Oh, my bad. I didn't
You're good.
realize I thought I
You're
was
muted.
unmuted. Um, anyways, yes, I think both. I feel like the less clutter, it looked amazing and it looked really nice and pretty and everything. And then I felt more confident the next day, just, because doing it all day on Saturday and then Sunday, I was like, I got this.
Right. And
Um,
it didn't take long. It's kind of like the second day was like riding a bike already. Like you're like, I know how to do this. Kick off the training wheels and go, right?
yep, exactly.
Now, this the how to use this insert, it's designed to sit inside the main training. It's just a quick reference. It's talking about booking the right event. You want to choose an event with a strong foot traffic, um, low enough booth cost. I know some of you had talked about the overhead cost in booking a booth. Typically, you could book a booth and you can split the cost of this with your teammates, or you can book a booth. And one of the things I pointed out with the team members in the chat was there have been times where I did not have inventory. I only had the product that I used, and I had business cards that I printed at like a Kinko's, FedEx, Staples kind of place. And I literally paid for like 20 pages of them at a time. And then I cut them myself with, scissors and a paper cutter, or I had them cut it. And you could do raffle tickets, which is literally you could cut paper and just write, like, put their name and phone number and email on it. You could literally approach a vendor show coordinator and ask them if they have information only booths. And that could be a one way to like talk to the audience and talk to them to make those trust and engagement, like just get the brand out there. And I've done it to where they're like, yeah, you can have an information booth. And sometimes they were free because they're like, if you're not selling anything, we're not going to charge you. That's ridiculous. So there have been times in my career over the 22 years that I was allowed to have a little information only booth. And it was just a small little, I remember it was a little table, and I set up with a tablecloth, and I just had the two, the things with me. And it worked because those leads, when you follow up with them with your newsletter, those convert to the know, like, and trust. And then they'll get the newsletter, and then you can stay connected in that way. Now, build the clean setup, lead the greeting, make eye contact, say hello first, invite the customer in, the conversation before offering the giveaway. This is a big thing that we learned from the first day to the second day. And I think it was kind of just our way of getting ourselves out there and comfortable with the conversation flow. I think, and even natural, because we're givers by nature. I know Ray is a giver and I'm a giver. We just love people so much that we're like, enter the giveaway, enter the giveaway, enter the giveaway. And then what happened was people saw that and they filled out the sheet. And as they're filling it out, we're trying to like tell them about a 30-second pitch, and we're talking to them while they're filling it out. And then by the time they're done filling it out, they hand it over and they're like, see you later, right? Like there wasn't that flow. So the second day, I was like, you know what? Let's save the giveaway until the very end. So when they approach, we say, hi, how are you doing? Without eye contact, get them to approach from that, ask if they've heard of xoxo Gina, and then talk about the products, or, highlight something. I liked highlighting the mascara because the mascara one, I was like, the technology on this, look, and I'd open it and then I'd pop it out, and then a little bit of a suction on that wand would take out the excess makeup. off of the wand, and then I'd tell them how it didn't clump and wouldn't dry out by the applicator. So it's all in a process. And then before they left the booth, we would say with closing, oh, make sure you enter this. And on our giveaway sheet, we specifically asked them to write their email address and the word yes if they wanted to be on our newsletter, which talked about the privacy and respect we have for our customers, that we are not going to spam them with things that are not, necessary. Like one newsletter a month is what I told them that they would be getting starting in April, which is exciting. And then you demonstrate simply with the products, which is what I talked about, the mascara, the lip demonstration. Okay, so Ray, this is your wheelhouse here. You are like the rock star of lip demonstration at the booth. I'd love for you to come on and tell everyone what was simple about your lip demonstration that you didn't even really know that you were doing until it happened. So share with everybody about that if you can.
Okay. Yep, I can. I'm not going to be on camera though, just
Oh, you're fine.
anyway. Um so yeah, I was wearing the Fierce and Fabulous, and for one instance that happened, a lady came up and was talking, and she liked lipstick, but she wasn't like fully sold or anything, and I was like, "Oh, I really like this lipstick. It feels nice and smooth on my lips." And I said, "It's easy to apply." And I showed her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I love it." She goes, "You just sold me on the lipstick." And then she got it.
Right?
Um, it
And
was,
she was like, I don't even know how it's gonna look on me. And then you put it on, and she was just like she had to have it. Like,
right? It was awesome. I loved it.
it was really cool. And you like told me about that, and I was like, that is so cool. So, um, always have your product with you, and in the middle of your demonstration, and I was thinking further about that, Ray, for the next booths, and this is something that you guys could write down, that I brainstorm even further past this insert here, is we could set up a time and set a reminder on our phones. Come back to our booth for a live demonstration, right? So like come back on the hour every hour for a live demonstration, and we could literally have, one of us at the booth put something on ourselves and go, this is a live demonstration. Or you can have one of the mannequins that, like, I'm going to be doing the live videos with the mannequins and putting makeup on that. But get creative, and then that way it would draw people back to the booth with an expectation of the demonstration. Because imagine if you had people that, they're like, okay, I'll go back. What's this demonstration? I have to see it, because people have FOMO, which is fear of missing out. And so they'll come back. So maybe even if there's one or two people that come back for that demonstration, maybe you'll increase your sales. And then offer the giveaway form at the end of the conversation, which is step 5. And it's once the trust is and interest is built, then they'll fill that out and they'll know more about what they're doing. And then it improves that sale. And then number 6, follow up fast. So this is kind of where I had to break my own rules, which is hard for me to do because I'm a person of habit, and I'm very strict with myself on, like, I have to do this or else, right? But I have to be flexible. We're building this out together. Ray actually is the leader at the booth. I told every single person that did come up to our booth that I was helping Ray with her leadership, building the local team from that event. And we do have the tickets that they completed for the newsletter. I'm waiting on corporate to let me know if we're integrating the newsletter in the back office. That's something that Angie, the president of xoxo Gina, was having a meeting with technology to find out if they can implement that part now so that it's ready for April. If it's not ready for April, and I'm giving it until the 15th of April to be ready, I will take matters into my own hands and I will create a third-party newsletter, which I really don't want to do, because if I create that first and then they create the xoxo Gina newsletter, then I have to integrate things and it just causes more admin work. And I hate admin work. If you know me, that's one of the things I'm just like, I just want it once and done, right? Like set it and forget it. Now, the following up expectation is that it's a newsletter once a month. And so as long as they get a newsletter within April, it'll be fine. Once we get that newsletter out to them and then they can read it, then they'll have more of a contact. We did not have anybody join the Facebook group. We did not push that as much at the vendor show as I had hoped. And I think it's because we were trying to learn so much about everything all at once that some of these things just, they slip through the cracks. I think next time, Ray, you're going to have a QR code for yourself that people can scan. And I think it's really important to have one for your business website so they can scan and go on and shop with you in the moment, and another QR code where you can direct them to join you on Facebook and make that connection on Facebook, because we're posting a lot of stuff on Facebook and Instagram. And I think that having that strong connection and like kind of locking arms with them from the beginning is good so they don't get lost. And then let me show you the different pages here. Step 1, book the event. Step 2, and it goes through all of these steps. That was just the index we were going through. This actually has more details. I'm just going fast. See how I did put the follow-up fast. That there's supposed to be a 24-hour follow-up, which is reaching out to them, and then the 3 to 5 day follow-up, and then a 7 day. So they always say the fortune is in the follow-up, and it's because if you don't follow up and build the relationships, when they need a new mascara and they're going to look at their tube and they're going to go, this is xoxo Gina. Where did I get this from? I remember I got it from a vendor show, but I lost touch with the girl and she never messaged me. What they're going to do is they're going to go to xoxo Gina to order next time. And you're going to miss out on the commissions from the order because you're going to lose your customer. So you want to, the follow-up is important, but right now, because this is new, we're on pause with that, Ray. But it's not the way I like to do things. So if you have a way of following up, even if it's a phone call or a text or Facebook, set that expectation. I knew I needed a kind of like a delayed follow-up. So my newsletter idea was a way to have a little bit of a gap to keep those things created in the meantime, if that makes sense. Now, what worked for the booth setup? There's a starter, standard, and full presentation. And some of us in the team page and in chat have been talking about what can be used for the startup. Of course, I had a full xoxo Gina corporate sent the banner and the tablecloths and things to set up to do the pictures and beta test. And I'm giving them ideas of what is necessary and what's important for business people, because we all are doing our business and we want to be professional and show up as our best self. So my idea is to have a smaller bundle, maybe one tablecloth, maybe a tabletop banner, maybe some cute little plastic containers, not glass, because that's really fragile. We learned that the hard way. But just what can be simple, the whole KISS, keep it simple, sweetheart, kind of thing. And then there's going to be people who book really big events. And you'll need a full presentation. They're going to be creating packages. That is something I told them it has to be done. We have to have vendor show packages. We have to have vendor show products, bundles that can be purchased in order to stock the vendor show. Those things are important, and those things are on the board at corporate that they're discussing right now. So I will let everyone know as we go when they're available. And we're kind of here in the early stage. I know that the company has technically launched already, but in this phase of the company, I would still say that we're a very infant company as far as the growth and the assets we have available, and we're creating it in real time, and you guys are working really fast. We are working at light speed. This last month we had Ray, we had Pamela, we had Jeannie, and we had Michelle and myself, all active on the compensation plan, which Pearl White Artist is the entryway to the compensation plan. And so that is, I'm like, my mind is just like, whoa, you guys, because we did that without all of the tools. And I want you to hear me. We did that. We've done all of this. Everything we're doing, everything I've been doing for the last 6 months with this company has been without all of the tools. We are creating it in real time. We are like, this year's supposed to be the year of the fire horse. We are like the fire horses running through those gates. Okay, so get excited. I get like the full body goosebumps excitement from all of this. So I do have to update this field testing results and leadership takeaways. There was 7 customer sales. 5 of them were credit cards and 2 of them were on cash. So make sure you have cash in your cash container, wallet, whatever you use. I bought a cash box from Staples. This is going to go a little bit over. We're at 30 minutes right now, so I'm not going to go too much longer, okay? I bought a cash box with a lock and key. It came with 2 keys, and I bought the little bracelet ring holder for that. So Ray had a key on, I had a key on. I used a Square Reader swipe for that. The app, I was able to upgrade all of the pictures for the inventory in the Square Reader. I did go in the team page and post a referral link. If you need to sign up for Square, you could use that. And when you use it, your first sale as a referral, you get 1,000 of free processing fees. Like, so if you get $1,000 in orders, there's no fees. So out of that $306 in total sales, I did have about $6.95 or something like that in fees. So if you have free processing for up to $1,000, that's a little bit more money in your pocket. So keep that in mind. And then also by the referral, you could get $20 off of some technology. Like maybe you need the card scanner, or what I would really like for myself is the reader that's like a full built-in device and it gives out a printed receipt. That's the one that I wish I had. There's always PayPal, you could do Venmo, you could do all kinds of things, but that Square is what I use, what I'm used to. And for tech support reasons, I like to keep it the same all the time because it's always changing, but it's easier to be familiar with something and stay consistent with it. The 73 total raffle entries, 32 newsletter opt-ins, and then 2 additional events opportunities for myself that I had booked, the Women's Fair, and then I booked a June event at the fairgrounds with a different vendor coordinator. And then Ray booked the November event. I booked an October and a December event. So just from that, so was that 5 events? That's 5 events that were booked because we dared to do it at the one event together. And we're doing them separate. We're going to be doing our own thing at our next events because, like Ray said, once you do it, once you put yourself out there, you learn and you can flourish really well. So that's that, you guys. That's the training for the vendor shows. Let me stop sharing this real quick. Do any of you have any questions for me at all? Let me know if you have any questions. And then moving forward, I want to just touch base on our sales challenge for April. So I booked a coaching program with Rob Sperry. So Rob Sperry, he's very well known. He's had a successful business. He's been in like 40 different countries with his businesses. He's an author. He had $1 million in team sales in a first month at a company. Like he is like incredible for mentorship. So I booked him as a business coach for myself. And it started today at noon. I had my first session of that group. There's a small group of us, so I think I counted 11 people on that Zoom. And then I also booked a VIP package for him. So I'll be one of like 2 or 3 VIP people getting one time a month coaching that's going to be impactful. And the reason why I booked that coaching is for myself, for validation, because I've been in direct sales for 22 years and I'm ready to level up for myself. But I also want to make sure that I show up as the best leader for you guys. I already know that I'm good, not, but I just want to make sure that I'm following structures and I have systems that are duplicatable for everybody, because not everybody's at the same level or experience or hobby, part-time, full-time, or big time. And we love everybody just the same. But check this out. I want to tell you guys, today in the training, and I'm going to be doing our trainings on Wednesday evening because I have my training in the afternoon and I have time to kind of digest it. And then I'm going to kind of regurgitate it in my fashion, my leadership way, to you guys. So there's something called a 10,000 hour rule study. And go look it up. 10,000 hour rule study. For anyone to be great at anything and to become the best at it and do well, right? The average amount of time that's put into it is 10,000 hours. So when people say I'm working my business, but they're not really working their business, or they think they're working full time, but it's busy work that they're non-income producing work, or like distraction work and stuff, you get on your phone to reach out to contacts and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, that looks good for dinner. Oh, look at that cat video. And I was on my phone tonight and it's like, oh, look, there's a spaceship going up. There's a launch going to the moon, like you literally have to have deliberate work. WORK, work. And then also there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows in direct sales, and you have to make it through those things with the mindset. You have to have the right mindset. There's resources for getting your mindset to the right place to receive and to be able to do the work. And I know imposter syndrome is real, and I want to touch on that because some days even I wake up going, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Why would someone come to me for makeup? Why would I be a leader? And then you start spiraling down. You literally need to spiral up, look in the mirror and look at yourself and say, I can do this. I am worthy of this. I know what I'm doing. I'm on a great team of people who are coming together. And anytime you feel like you're spiraling down and you don't feel good enough, reach out to the group and lean in, okay? But the mindset, action, what are you doing every day to move closer to your goals? And then the habits that you have. Do you sit at your desk and do you work and do deliberate work, or do you scroll and get squirrely, right? Like deliberate work and habits. And then the SOPs, which is the standard operation procedures, and all of those things. So the mindset, action, habits, and standard operation procedures become your identity for you and your business. And I want you to think of, what do you want that identity to be for you in the business? And everybody has their skills and their talents and their gifts. And I love bringing that out of everybody. One of the things I love doing with leaders in the very beginning, because a lot of times when I start over, and this is kind of where I started tonight, I wanted to tell you that sometimes people don't think of themselves as a leader. They don't think that they're a leader enough. There's been times where people even told me, you're just a stay-at-home mom. right? So when we have all of those things stuck in our head of our, what I call them, you're a peg in that peg, like you're stuck, right? Think of yourself the way that you want to be. Think about what are those habits and all of those actions in your mindset that you need to have as the leader you want to be. And then we'll talk about those things as I go through the coaching. I'll coach you guys on overcoming those objections and obstacles and limiting beliefs. But I want you to think about this. You have to believe in yourself. And Michelle, thank you so much for the compliment on here. Um, you know, telling me that you're proud of me, and and then telling Ray that you're proud of her. And awesome. I'm looking at the little bit of comments here on the side. Hopefully they'll keep everything affordable, right? And you have to do a show. Yeah. And thank you so much, you guys. And yes, here's the thing though. And I want to point out the affordable point. When I became a beauty consultant at a department store, I did it to prove to the world. I don't know who in the world, I don't even know who in the world was watching me to care. I was proving it to myself, and then I was proving it to my family, and then my belief system that I could still sell the beauty products without being able to use everything, is why I got that job at the department store as a beauty consultant in retail. And what I noticed there in that store, they had bargain bins, right? Like the $1, the $2, $3, $4, $5 items. And they also had the aisles where people would go and they would buy the collagen or the different items that they needed. And it was $120 for their itty bitty bottle, and it would sell out. It would sell out. All of it would sell out. The bargain bins, everything from the bargain bins to the high-end product. I was restocking everything all day long, all week long. And I got to see the human behavior behind the purchases. And I'll tell you, people will treat themselves to something that makes them feel good. Luxury products make women feel really good. And if you look at economics, depressions, and like everything's really expensive right now, the economy, people are, I can't afford that. I dare you to look up a study about lipstick, and I want you to type in like which products survive the economy crashing. And lipstick, makeup is right up there with some of the top things that sell consistently, that people fork out their money for. And the reason why is it makes them feel good. Lipstick is an instant gratification. You take it out of your purse, you put it on, and you feel like a brand new woman. Okay. And I put my lipstick on all the time. I'm like, not because I'm nervous about it and I need it, but it's like I just enjoy it. It's a pop of color. It makes me feel put together. Even if I run out of the house and I have nothing else on except for my lipstick or my mascara, those are my two go-tos. Anyways, so you guys, this program with Rob Sperry is going to just be amazing. It's a 6-month training coaching program that I'm part of. So 6 months from now is September. So we're going to be doing this weekly. I meet with them bi-weekly. I have homework. I said the word homework. I have homework that I have to do to build my business and to build my leadership from my coaching. And that homework I'm also going to pass to you, which in bite-sized pieces for your business. And I want to remind you, and this is really important, this is what Rob even said to everybody on the call, because some people have a full-time job and they're doing this in the nooks and crannies of their time. The nooks and crannies of time does not give you a get out of jail free card that says you don't have to do the things. You still have to show up and do them. But if you have 4 hours a day to do a lot of work, or you have 15 minutes a day to do the work. You still have to show up with that deliberate work ethic. Okay, you guys. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully you guys are all excited. Do you have any questions for me? Ray or Michelle, do you guys have any questions since you're on here live? And then business cards. Let's see here. I do want to touch base on that. I did submit to home office that we need business cards and we need them to be branded XOXO Gina and beautiful. They are coming. They're working on things, the logistics of that. I do have business cards are on the board, I guess, in the main office of topics, and I will let you know when those are available. What I had told Ray in the meantime, and this is for everybody here, if you need business cards, don't let that stop you. And truth be told, business cards are not going to make or break your business. Truthfully, business cards are as simple as a door opener. And I feel confident when I have business cards. It's almost like I'm hiding behind my business cards with the confidence because it breaks the ice. Like, I have my business card, like I'm a businesswoman, right? Like it makes me feel some sort of way. So if that's what you need also, I see you, because I need a business card to give it and feel that validation that I am part of this and I'm giving this to you, and you hope that they keep it and then they go on your website, right? That's their purpose. If you don't have you want to feel legit. Exactly. You don't want to be like, I'm with this business and I don't really know what's happening. No, you want to be confident and you want to feel legit. So you could do a digital business card. And that might even be the best way, because think about it. You always carry your cell phone with you, right? If you you could create a QR code, and maybe Ray, if you have directions on how to create that QR code that you did, maybe you could share in the team page how to create a QR code. That would be a great training topic for you to do, since you did that for your business cards. But you could create a QR code and you could put it on your phone. And I actually did that in my last company. You can have a screensaver on your phone, right? And it could be your QR code. And I did that for one of my previous companies. I created a QR code that did lead to the product on my website and a QR code that led to the Facebook page. And I would literally say, scan this one to go to product and scan this one for Facebook. And on the go, they would scan my phone. I would hold it up and like turn the brightness on and say, scan it. And then they go, oh yeah, there it is. And I didn't have business cards that I would hand out, because guess what? The other truth, business cards get bent up. They do. They get bent up and they get shuffled around, and they end up at the bottom of my purse, and they end up in my car. And my daughter, Lily, she grabs them and she draws on the back of them and stuff. It's a crutch. It's a tool. And if it helps you build your confidence to feel legit, get it, right? And we will have them. But don't let that be a reason to sit and wait. Don't let that be a reason to sit on the sidelines of your business, because I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to end this video with this. We have a head start. We have a head start to make sure every single person in our contacts, every single person we come in contact with through social media, we have a head start to let them know that we are their XOXO Gina person. And I cannot emphasize on that enough, that's going to be important, because you don't want someone to say, I didn't know you were part of that company in the beginning. They didn't know. Hold on. Let me turn that off. Yes, I'm getting there, Ray. The challenge for April. But anyways, you get the point, you guys, and I'm excited about the business cards myself, but don't let that pause you. Now, to raise your question, what's the challenge for April? What is it? So, everybody's getting product. Um, you order product. Ray, you order product. Michelle, you order product. Those who rewatch this, if you have not ordered your product, you need to have 5 products in your hands. And when you have those, we're going to do challenges this month to go out and start those conversations. We're going to talk about growing our Facebook audiences and growing our groups on Facebook and on Instagram. If you have a TikTok shop, maybe doing that as well. The challenge for this month is that we're going to work on perfecting our sales pitch. We're going to work on perfecting selling for April and sharing. Because if you don't make a sell, if you don't have customers, you don't have a business. How many on this call are perfect sellers right now? Like Ray or Michelle, if you guys want to chime in and just mention on here where you are right now with your confidence and your skill for selling. Is that something that you would like to spend April working on for yourself? Because here's my mindset. Before anyone ever joins the teams, any team commissions or unlocking the compensation plan, you have the ability to sell products and earn a commission that's between 30 to 45% commission in your pocket. Do you know how to do that yet? Do you know how to sell the product? Michelle or Ray, do you guys want to unmute and share where you are at today with your sales, or just share that if you'd like to learn about that for April?
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Like, I have sold one thing,
Mm-hmm.
so that, but like, I don't know, I've lost all of it. Like, what we used to do and stuff, I just lost all of it. No, like, I feel like I'm like back to basics almost, you know?
Well, you forget the magic that you had, right? When you're doing things repetitive, you like grow upon, it's like building a muscle over time. And if you don't work that muscle out, you're gonna turn back to, not having the muscles. That's what happens. So that's why the refresher for this is so important. And I'm proud of you that you sold one item. Can you share with everybody how you did that?
Well, it was my sister, and she was talking about something. Her daughters are in cheer, and like they use the bright red color, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh," and I kept like redirecting her back to the website, so it would like pop up on there, and she's like, "I don't want to pay shipping." I was like, "Well, let me see if I have something similar. Like, I don't have the color you're looking for on hand, but I may have something similar." And so then I ended up having something similar, and she's like, "Oh, that one's even better." And so she picked it up yesterday, and I was like, man, you should have got it from the website, though, girl. Jeez Louise.
You're like, not the one I have on hand. And here's the thing. Everyone asks me, you know, what do you do if you don't have money to do inventory, and how do you build and all those things? Literally, you guys, when I join in October, I literally budget what I'm going to order each month out of, I have a budget, and it's a business overhead, it's a business expense. So if you're like when I had the twins and they were little and I was doing direct sales and I was, balling on a budget, like going, cheap, I would literally go without. If I was doing Starbucks, for example, I would cut my Starbucks for the week, or whatever kind of extras I did, I would cut it out, whether it's fast food, Starbucks, or maybe I would like my grocery budget. I'm like, okay, I have this for groceries, and I can make these meals on the cheap because I know how much the meal ingredients are, and then take whatever's a little bit extra and sock it away like a squirrel, right? Like you have to get in the beginning, if you don't have a credit card, which I never promote people to use credit cards to start a business. Paying interest on something is ridiculous. Make sure, I mean, do what makes sense for yourself, obviously, but I don't promote that because it's something that doesn't make sense to me. And so I teach people how to start from having nothing and then building it confidently. So when you made that sell of that lip product, take that money that you made and then save it or reinvest it into getting some more so you have another one to sell. Because check this out, what's going to happen is they're going to have that product and you need to write it down on a piece of paper, like get a notebook and keep track of who bought what. Or even if you have like an Excel spreadsheet, or you could go to Google Sheets and put a name in and what they bought and what day. Follow up with her and say, hey, like in a week or two, or even like in a month, there's a follow-up flow for that. You could say, you bought this from me, how's it going? And they might say, oh, I lost it, or I need a new one, or I want that other color. So you left an opportunity there to go back and make another sell. And then as the company comes out with promotions and different things, you could talk about that. And remember my story about wanting the mascara with a company? I literally joined and bought the kit to join because it was all the products and things to start a business was like $99 with that. And then it covered the cost of what I ultimately wanted. So maybe you could use that as a way of foot in the door for that too, for a team member is, hey, this business is a business opportunity and you get the lipstick, one of the lipsticks in the kit. So keep that in mind, like kind of use it to your advantage. You guys, so we're going to actually end this call tonight because I want to make sure that there's a few more people on here, and I want to make sure that you guys have your products in your hands when we talk about the sales training. And we're going to go through for the entire month of April. Is going to be the sales challenge and recruiting challenge. It's going to be layered together because it's going to organically happen with the conversations that you have. There's 4 people in the team that did say that they wanted to be part of the challenge when I first asked about it. And I want to just give a little bit of shout outs to the 4. Let me go ahead and bring up my message here real quick. Just one second. Let me find, there we go. Okay, so for Jeannie, Michelle Ellis, Ray, and Pamela, you 4 put in the team chat when I said who wants to be part of this challenge, drop a GIF. You 4 drop the GIF, and I am actually having home office send out a bundle of product to you for your participation in the April sales challenge. You'll be getting a bundle, so watch for that in the mail. As soon as that arrives, we're going to kick it into high gear, and through the week, you'll see little golden nuggets of information put in the team page. I'm going to have some actionable steps that you can take to get the sales. I think everybody right now, the first couple of weeks in April, we're growing our audience because you're not going to be able to sell if you don't have people to sell to. So are you going to, I just want to kind of, and that's why it's important for people to be on the meetings, is so I could find out if you're selling in person or if you're going to be selling through social media, because the training is going to be focused on what the majority needs in our real conversation. So Ray, are you going to be doing in person or through social media? And Michelle, are you going to be in person or social media? Just so we can, I mean, we can like talk for hours and hours and hours about ideas. Because I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of trial and errors, and I know what's worked and what doesn't, and how to even just thank you, you guys. Yay! I know I'm so excited about it. And I'm working on a lot of really cool things for the team, for the leaders on the team, and everything. So when I get quiet behind the scenes, I want you guys to know I'm working on stuff. Like I'm doing home office is amazing. This is actually one of the best corporate teams I've ever worked with. They're very supportive of the leadership team here and everybody in the field here. So I pay attention to all of the little details, and we're in the right place with the right corporate team. Okay, so Michelle said in the chat here, I'm going to shoot for in person. I want to do vendor shows, but I definitely need confidence and knowledge to do it. Right. So I have submitted that quick guide and some other resources to home office. I'm waiting for my meeting for them to be approved, and I'm hoping that they'll be posted in the xoxo Gina circle page. And if it's not posted there, it's definitely going to be a resource for the team, but I have to post it in a specific order. And then Ray plan on doing both in person and online. So I'm pretty sure everyone's just like, I just want to work. I just want to go and work. So maybe I'll just try to do both at the same time so that people can grab their golden nuggets and run with it. I think that would be the best. But the most important thing is to get the product in your hand first. Because if you only have this one lipstick and you're like, I have this one and it's my precious, right? Like I've been there. I'm like, I don't want to sell you because you're my precious. And I know this because I look at my Facebook memories to I post about everything business and stuff, right? And on my Facebook memories, many years ago, it's like 2014, I posted a picture where I had two mascara sets in this company I was with in 2014. And I literally could only order two because they had released them to the field and they sold out within minutes. And I bought two. And I remember going, I have two to sell, but I want to keep them. I have two to sell, but I want to keep them. And it was so hard to part with the ones that I had to be on the computer ready to go to order, but I needed to make the money back because I needed to be able to reinvest that. And I knew that if I used it, it would be a dead end hobby. That's the thing. If you have one and you're going to go, I only have one and I'm going to use it, that's a hobby. If you have one and you sell it and you take that money and you buy another one, you could actually maybe you could buy two, or maybe you could buy one lipstick and something, get creative with stocking your shelf. And you had an in-person sale and an online one last month. Yes, you guys, I'm excited. Do you guys have any more questions before we end this? Because we're a little bit over here on the time. I tend to talk a lot, you guys, but Ray,
I
what's
have,
up?
yeah, I have just one comment.
Yeah.
I really liked what you told me, and I keep it in the back of my head to remember. So you told me when someone buys from me, I think you said like put 60 towards and like 30 to keep to yourself.
Yeah,
And
so it's a 60-40 split in
60/40.
business.
Yes.
It's
So I
60-40.
really like that.
So if you look at business structures and compensation for like entrepreneurs, typically it's a 60-40 split because you don't want to forget to pay yourself. Because if you just put it all back in, you're going to feel depleted really quick. And what I told Ray is I was like, use that 40 to go buy your family pizza or do something fun with the family, because that's the reason why we're doing the business anyways, is to have that freedom and have that. I want to tell you though, there's been times where I have put it all in. I'm talking about 70-hour work weeks, all of my, I buy it, reinvest, kind of thing. I've had to do that in actually a couple of companies where I've done really well. That's how I started. It's not a long-term run, okay? So keep that in mind. But yes, and here's the other thing is if you also divide it your income amongst like your overhead costs and then your fund like pay yourself and then your inventory like split up that money so that you have enough to cover all of those things because sometimes vendor shows are not free for the majority, right? Like the info booth is a kind of a one-off special thing that you'd have to really talk to the coordinator for because they want to make money. Like vendor coordinators want to make money on people who want to make money. It's an ecosystem of business. But just do the best you can. And here's the thing. The most important thing also is put those blinders on. Put those blinders on and stay in your lane because you are where you are with your experience, and it's not a race against anyone else except for yourself. And be proud of yourself for showing up each time you show up. And that's one of the things Rob Sperry was talking about. The little wins over time, compounded effort will end up being your big moments, okay? Put those blinders on and say, this is what I could do today. This is enough. Even if it's with energy, with your, maybe you're sick or you have something going on behind the scenes and you have to back off. This is what I see people do in direct sales is they feel like they have to back off because maybe their kids are sick and they have to get quiet because it's taken all of their attention away. And they feel like they've fallen out of the loop. And instead of getting back in it and running again, they quit because they feel like they have to apologize. Like, I'm sorry, my family's sick and I have to. No, there is no apologizing here. It's called life happens, and we're all here to support each other where we are and appreciate that we're a community of like minded people coming together with a common goal, and that's to be successful with xoxo Gina. Okay, I want you guys to remember that as well. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to cut this off because it's over an hour already. And I said it was going to be a 30-minute call, a 30-minute meeting, but we could talk forever and ever and ever. I will post some actionable items for you guys to do to start building your audience, your in-person sales, and your online sales. We'll just cover it all. We're just going to make it rain for April so that it'll set us up for our May. And thank you so much for being on live, Ray and Michelle. Thank you so much for being on. When you do get your packages, for those who are getting them, and when you do order product and you get your packages, make sure that you're doing your unboxings on a Facebook video. Even if you have to cut it open and do a video that's recorded and then do it a couple of times because you're judgmental of yourself and you want to make sure the lighting's right and all the things, which I understand you're a perfectionist. I want you to get that video because that video translates to doing something with your business. And when you post it and you're excited and you have that spark of joy opening your package, people can feel that and they want to be part of what you're doing, whether it's being a customer, supporter, share it out, or joining your team. Those videos out loud, living your business out loud through social media is going to gravitate people towards you organically. So those are things that like you're putting the money out anyways. Those are marketing dollars. Even if it's product for yourself, you're paying for it. You might as well open it and give the experience. Okay. So, and then the other pro tip on that is when you do open your mail, like make sure the address is crossed out so that you're not showing the world on Facebook your home address, okay? So make sure that's done. Is there anything else I need to cover tonight, or are we good? Are you guys good? Are you guys do you have enough to go off of already?
Yep, you are amazing as usual.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It takes one to know one. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. As always, I'm a message away in the team chat and on the team page. Watch for updates. If you're rewatching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments, and then do the homework and stuff that you need to do. Show up for your business. No one else could do your business for you. Do the WORK that it's going to take to succeed in your business. Bye, you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.